Hi everybody, I'm Bree the Plant Lady, and today I am going to do some direct seeding in the shady part of the wave. Now you can see the sunny section of the wave is rocking and rolling with those Thailand giant colocasias and the mix of Treasure Island sweet potatoes. I'm over the moon happy with how that looks. But you get down here under where the live oak branches are really starting to sprawl, and it's very shady, and this has traditionally been a place where carrots have self-sown, and I don't know whether we're just not quite on the cycle where they are germinating, or we did a really good job collecting seed this year and we didn't drop any, or it's just been too dry for them to germinate. I haven't done a great job of keeping this section watered. So I've decided to go ahead and take this opportunity, because this is open space with the ground plane not engaged, to go ahead and get some seeds sown. Now I'm gonna do a couple different things. I'm really here looking at square footage for how much the packages go so that I can give the best information. And of course, I'm always looking for seed germination trials to make sure that the seed I'm distributing is going to germinate well. Now, it's still early September. It's very, very early to be planting any of these things. In fact, I generally don't recommend doing any of this until at least mid-November in zones 6 through 9. But again, I'm doing this in advance of the fall open garden, which is scheduled for Saturday, September 23rd from noon to 4 p.m. I have a ton of seed packaged, like a ton, literally. And I keep packaging more. I can't help myself. And so I just want to make sure that, I get this done in advance. For one thing, it'll give everybody who visits something to look at. But it'll also give us great information so that you'll know exactly how to sow the seeds that you purchase. All right, I've got a handful of things. I've got Bree's Spring Cottage Garden Mix, which is a nice combination of larkspur, nigella, bachelor buttons, carrots. I need to look at my website, to be honest. I also have crimson clover, and I've got white cloud crimson clover, and I've got a cool mix that is to help deter animals. It's a mix of curly mustard, kale, and rainbow Swiss chard. So I've got these 4 things here that I'm going to go ahead and scatter, and really the process is ridiculously simple. I'm going to take a hard rake, and I'm just going to kind of rough up the soil behind me that doesn't have any plants growing in it, and then I'm going to put the seeds down. I'm going to re-rake over them, and then I'll water. And that's really all there is to it. That's why I love direct seeding. So I hope you'll stay tuned to watch my progress. Well, this definitely isn't enough square footage for all of those packages. This actually is just roughly about 50 square feet. It's not very much space. It definitely accommodated the entire container of the Spring Cottage Garden Mix. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, depending on how thick you plant that, it's gonna cover somewhere between 50 and 100 square feet. I also added the spicy mixed greens, and that was the mix with mustard. I have that combo with mustard, kale, Swiss chard, and lettuce. And then I have a different one that doesn't have the mustard, and it has arugula as the replacement. So we have 2 different types of spicy mixed greens. So in a 50 square foot space, I did the mixed greens as the edge, and then the cottage garden seed behind it. So if you're looking at having 50 to 100 square feet to fill, you'll need a packet of each of those, and that'll more than accommodate the space you have. I'm gonna keep trying to find little pockets of open space and roughly calculate square footage for all of the different containers that I have, although I'm not gonna do any poppies because I feel like sowing poppies in September is really just a waste of seed, and I don't want to waste any of that seed. I am going to go ahead and do the crimson clover, both the white cloud and the red flowering, in some of the open spaces that I have here in this shrub border behind me. I just really hate seeing mulch, and where there's mulch, that means I could be growing something more interesting. And so it's really mostly along the edge. There's not a ton of space, but there's enough to be able to just toss some in. And again, my goal is just to fill in the gaps, recognizing that it's still really early to be doing this. Again, typically I would recommend waiting until temperatures cool down significantly, and we actually get to have rain in the forecast. Though it feels really pleasant right now, it's short-lived. We're going back into the 90s and we don't have any rain in our 7-day or our 10-day. And I'm hoping that we actually will have some humidity, because that actually helps hold moisture in the ground. This really pleasant dry air that we're having right now draws the moisture out of the ground, so your plants actually dry out faster with this pleasant air. So from a gardener's perspective, we actually need humidity. I know from a being alive perspective, humidity is terrible, but anyhow, I do hope that you will subscribe so that you can stay in the loop. I'll definitely be posting updates in my weekly garden tours. And I do hope that you'll plan to attend the Fall Open Garden on Saturday, September 23rd, to pick up some seed packets for yourself. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Happy gardening.